Hi guys, Rjpasini from Rjpasini.com. Coming to you today, just talk a little about just some changes I made to my listings. Um, as you know, well, I think I mentioned once before, my sales have been pretty stagnant and flat. All week, I haven't had not one sale. Not that I recall anyway. I can't think of any. That's how sparse it is right now as far as like regards to sales. So what I did was I just went in there with all the active listings I have because I'm going to have like 41 things I think they're going to be eventually ending. At least that's what I thought the message I got this morning. You can see all the ones over here highlighted in red. These are the ones that's going to probably be dumping off after 18 hours. Some more 13, 11, 13, 9 hours. 14, whatever. Anyway, what I did was, folks, I didn't, I want to move this stuff out. I want to get rid of it. And I know it sounds like I'm complaining. I'm not complaining. I am tired of looking at it. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I don't want people to think, oh, the guy wants to get rid of it because there's got to be something wrong. No, there's nothing wrong with the stuff. I just want it out of here. I'm glad I don't have like 6,000 or 3,000 listings, because if I had that many listings and nothing was selling, I would be super irate and upset over the whole thing, because I say, let alone if you had that much money in inventory and you're not making any sales on it, you just tied up a large sum of money and you're not making it back within a profit. It would drive me crazy. I'm glad I don't have that much. Like I said, I'm glad right now I'm a small-time seller. I know people that tell you out there sales are slow, the months of summer, the summer months are slow, June, July, whatever, July and August. It'll probably be like that next month. Maybe yes, maybe no with August, because school will be coming up in September. You hear all these advertisers, you hear these resellers talking about, oh, we got to get ready because the school season will be starting next month. People are going to start buying school supplies and so on and so forth. Maybe things will pick up. I don't sell any school supplies. You can see, you look at my listings, there's no school supplies here. Okay, basic electronics, novelties, eyeglass cases, little things like that. If you look at the stuff I sell, there's nothing really in relation to going back to school. But anyway, what I did was, and I'm winging it. I mean, I'm doing this on the fly. What I did is I got 249 listings, active listings right now. What I did, I just went in there, and when you click on, in case you're wondering, you don't have to do it manually, folks, if you don't want to, but I just clicked on here where it says create listings. You click on the left checkbox and all active listings will be active unless you manually, if you uncheck it, you do manual ones, right? I am so disgusted and fed up. I just clicked them all on. I went to the edit and it says edit all, and when you click on edit all 249 listings, it brings you to another window. Okay? When you get to this window, I'm not going to redo it again because I already did it. You would click on all of these here, right? You click on all these here. It'll bring up, let me see if it's doing this here. It'll bring up all the, should make everything active. Maybe because I changed everything. Anyway, okay, it highlights like that. Then what you do is you go to the edit fields. And I went, I believe, to shipping domestic. I went over here, click this on. Okay, I'm not going to do it again. And on all edit listings in bulk, I did that there, not individual, in bulk. I went over here, flat same cost to all buyers. I clicked on ship, save, and close. All 249 listings have fast and free. Now you might say you're going to make next to nothing on it. At this stage of the game, I don't care. I just want to get rid of this inventory. I want to buy new stuff, maybe newer items. Feel the waters, see what's out there. I know it's, like I said, in this type of business, we're just one of many. We're like a pea in a pod, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? There's thousands upon thousands of sellers out there, resellers, doing the same exact thing we're doing. And the thing is, when you say, well, my thinking is why is it one person may be doing a lot better than the others? I don't know. One seller made a suggestion that sometimes the shipping and the handling could be too expensive. So, and that's true. It could be. It's sometimes, some cases it probably is. I base it when I weigh an item up. I base it by the weight, the total weight, and that's how I do it. And then that's how I computate my shipping cost. So if there's anybody out there, this is the first time coming to my YouTube channel. My name is Rich Passini. I sell on eBay. My eBay user ID is shop Rjpasini for great deals. Right now, at least till the end of this month, I don't know if it's going to protract it to next month. I don't know. All I know is I keep getting guaranteed bills every month from eBay with their reseller, with their listing fees. It's costing me a fortune. Even though you say, well, $249. I mean, $249. 249 listings. How much could it cost? It's costing enough. Believe me. When you're paying more in listing fees than you got coming in from sales, that's a problem. I'm sorry to say it, but that's the problem. Okay, what I paid in eBay listing fees is not what I made in sales, and that becomes a problem. Okay, now people might say, "Well, you sound like you're freaking out and you're panicking." No, I'm not freaking out, panicking. I'm concerned. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to say, put my hands back and say, I'm not worried about it, folks. It sells. It sells. I got tons of money in the bank. I'm loaded. I do this here like spit in the wind. I don't care if I make money, I don't make money. No, that ain't the case here, folks. I'm doing this right now full time, and I need to make money. I got bills they got to pay. We all do. People may say, "Oh, this guy's talking. He thinks he's the only guy that's got bills." We all have bills. Okay, and we all get involved with this business because we enjoy what we do. We love what we do. This is a passion that we always want to fulfill. And for those who don't know me, this is the first time coming onto this YouTube channel and getting to introducing myself to you. I got into this line of work. I've been on eBay since 1999, on and off. Okay. Now you might say since 1999, this guy should have had at least 5,000, maybe 10,000 feedbacks. I don't, because I did it on and off. eBay wasn't my life back then. Okay. I had a stressful job working in the IT field. And the last thing you do is when you're working, I worked 3 12-hour days coming home. I had a wife, my wife and kids and stuff like that, take care of them a little. I don't have time to sit there and come home and say, okay, family, I'll see you guys later. I'm going to go work on eBay after a 12-hour shift. Okay? I did it on and off. That's why I got very little feedback. Okay? My true feedback, my true amount of sales I had from that time on, from 1999 on till present, should have been close to around 1,800. I should have at least 1,800 feedbacks. That's the total. It's not much, but that's the total. But again, it all based on how much you sell. I don't sell that much on eBay back then. I didn't care about it. Like I said, I had to take care of the wife, the kids. I didn't have time for that working. You come home from a day, hard day's work, stressful day's work. The last thing you're thinking about is eBay. All right. So that's one of my things. But how I got propelled into doing this here is last year, again, for those, I'm sorry if I keep repeating to those who steady followers of me, I'm sorry to keep repeating it, but back in June of 2016, my company had layoffs. I worked for a big corporation, and they had layoffs, and they had 1,000, I believe it was 1,000 people total that got laid off. Okay, the jobs were outsourced overseas. Isn't that nice? Okay, am I bitter by it? No. I'm a little upset over it because when you work for a company, a big corporation, you get all the perks, and it's like, you're in your car and you're doing from zero, from 60 to zero in a matter of seconds. That's how fast everything drops. You lose your pension, you lose certain money, perks that you had in the company, and so on and so forth. It does hurt, yes. I'm not going to mention the name of the company, but I'm not happy the way they went about it. It hurt a lot of people, when they lost their jobs, just as everybody else does in this beautiful country we live in. All these big corporations, they like to outsource, and they don't realize that. But when you're outsourcing, you're hurting people. The stress becomes a big burden on you because now you got to worry about looking for jobs. And I still keep in touch with some of the affiliates that I work with. Some people, believe it or not, over a year are still out of a job. Now people say, well, what's your excuse? How come you're not? I went on a couple job interviews, and you know what I said to myself? If you ever follow Job Case, it's about these people that they write on there. Job Case is about people who lost their job, and they talk about, it's like a blog. about a blog about people who lost their jobs, and they sit there venting, and they talk about their jobs, how they can't get jobs, or they've been out of work, or age discrimination. I'm an older person, so for me to get back into the workforce, it's going to probably be very difficult for me. Okay, my experience, my background is IT, but my last job I worked with finance, and I did various jobs within the finance department. So therefore, my skills were limited, and for me to get back into that line of work might be a little, just like a gray area there, because I don't have certain qualifications for that. Okay, but anyway, I got into this here. Okay, so the reason why I decided to give this a shot, doing it full time, is, when you get laid off from your company, they give you your benefit package and all that stuff there, and you have hopefully enough money to ride the storm. And I'm not here to sit here to give you a sob story or cry the blues to you guys out there, but there's only so much money you could invest into this type of business. Okay, and let me just go way back at this here. So with that in mind, when you only have so much money to invest, you're at a standstill. And you say to yourself, well, I can't go out and source every day. Okay, and for people who are trying to get into this business, don't quit your day job, by all means. And if people, say, oh, like I said, sometimes I listen to eBay radio, and you get every once in a while you get a person, I quit my job, I'm doing eBay full time. I don't know how they could be so bold and brash to say, come right out and say, I'm quitting my job and doing this full time. I'm not knocking it because, well, you're doing it full time, but I'm talking to people who have jobs. Whatever you do, do not give up your day job to do this. Okay, and I already had getting messages from people and stuff like that, and saying that I can't afford to quit my day job because I need this. I do this as a side hobby. Okay, so people turn their hobbies and their passions into a full-time and successful business. And I think the problem is, and I'm not saying this in a bad way to the resellers out there, but I think what happens is, me, myself included, when I go to other resellers, YouTube channels, and I'm listening to them, oh, I bought this, I bought that, I'm making this much money a month, $5,000-$10,000 a month. Listen, if you're making that money every month, God bless you. I'm very happy for you that you can make that kind of money. Okay, I am nowhere near making any of that type of money at all right now. Okay, I mean, you might say, well, sometimes you have bad months, good months. That's where you got to put money, save away for a rainy day, so to speak. You put money away for a rainy day. So when you have slow peaks like this here, you got that backup money to keep you going. But what happens if those slow peaks keep protracting from week after week, month after month? I'm not saying you say, well, come on, you're going to tell me within 1 day. Hey, I'm just saying anything is possible. Okay, and like I always say, it's like throwing a loaf of bread out to a bunch of birds. You keep picking on that loaf of bread, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, now if the business gets so small, it comes to where it comes to a situation where you say, well, what do I do now? If you have to start tapping into your reserves, if you don't have enough money to keep you going, you got to tap into your reserves. That's not a good thing. Okay, people talk now. People do have full-time jobs because they're so in debt, so much in debt. They got all these credit card bills and all this, that, and the other thing. They're living paycheck to paycheck. Okay, for me, it's a little different. Okay, I have one little stinking measly credit card. All right, that's like so minimal. Okay, but that's all I have is one credit card. Outside of my other expenses, your car insurance, my car, thank God, is paid for. Thank God for that. So you get your insurance, you got little things, you get your gasoline bill. I don't travel much with the car because I'm devoting my time to this. But the point I'm trying to get across, folks, is, I think a lot of sellers out there paint a beautiful picture, and it's a beautiful picture for them. If they're making that kind of money, they're making all this tons of money. I hear all these different amounts of money thrown out there. There's one guy out there. I'm not going to mention his name. I can't even mention his name because I forgot his name. But I don't know if he said he makes $100,000 a month. And if I heard right, I had to play it twice. I thought this person said they want to try to make $1 million a month. Listen, I don't know what you're doing. If you can make that kind of $100,000 a month, $1 million a month, I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm one of those type of people. I got to see it to believe it. I'm sorry. I can't just, you're not going to throw big numbers out there and you're going to tell me, oh yeah, I'm making this much money. I have to see it to believe it. Although Some people, some sellers out there, again, I'm not making a derogative statement. I'm not saying anything in a bad way, so please don't get offended. Some people will show you their profit and losses. They'll go in and actually show you their spreadsheet. Well, this is what I made, this is the profit, this is what I sold it for, bought it for. I don't do that. Okay, I'm upfront and honest. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and talk numbers to you. I'm not going to sit here and tell you what I pay for these items that you see listed here, these little measly 249 items. I'm not going to sit there verbatim and tell you, well, that shirt over there, I paid this much money for it. That original Nintendo Wii sensor bar, I paid this, and so on and so forth. I'm not going to sit there and get into those details. It's irrelevant. You don't need to know it. And it's not that I'm hiding anything from you. I'm not trying to say, well, oh, this guy just doesn't want to share his information. It's not that. I tell you where I source my stuff. I'm upfront and honest. I source my stuff at thrift stores. That's where I get a lot of majority of stuff is at thrift stores. So there, I'm sharing it with you. I don't have to get into the pricing with you. I don't have to tell you what my profit margin is on there. First, sometimes, I'll be honest with you, in one or two occasions, sometimes your profit margin's like zero. Okay? Because, I use a lot of buy it now, and all these listings, good majority of these listings all have best offer now. Well, they have buy it now, but also best offer. And sometimes just to get rid of it, I'll take the best offer in some cases, just to unload it and get it out of here. Okay? So when you start taking best offers, you're already right there cutting your profit margin down. So I mean, think about that, folks. What I did, you might say, it's kind of like daring, because if I'm selling something for $2.99, okay, and I'm saying free shipping on it, who's paying the shipping? You just got an item for free, basically, right? I'm paying for it. But you know what it is? I just want to get it out of here, okay? So I look at it this way. I'm trying to work something out where, I may lose a lot of money at some all these listings with the free shipping on there in some cases. Some I may make money, some I may lose it. But at this stage of the game, I am so tired of looking at it. Sales have been flat, and a lot of people say, well, it's that time of the month, this time of the year, the summertime, people on vacation to travel. Look, whatever. Okay, we could sit up here and drum up all the excuses you want. It's whatever. You can tell me anything you want to tell me. I'm speaking as an individual. We all have different situations, and again, I can't stress this enough. And I'm not being, honestly, I'm not being mean, but the only thing I say is, when you hear a lot of sellers, okay, keep this in mind, folks. I mean, you know what? Maybe if you go to other sellers' websites and they're saying, I'm doing this full time, I don't want to pop the question. I'm not going to pop the question, but maybe you might be bold enough to pop the question to the reseller. Ask them the question: Is there some other source coming in? Is your wife working, or your husband working? Is your girlfriend working, your boyfriend working, that you are able to stay home and have that additional income, that you could stay home and do this here? Do you have a secondary income coming in to weather the storm when it's slow? Does your husband, if you're married, does your husband have a job as an executive in a corporation? Is he an AVP, vice president of a company? And you're saying, well, I'm home, I'm a full-time wife, I get to stay home and I could do this full-time. Sure, you could do it full-time. Your hubby's making a nice salary. He's paying the mortgage, he's paying the cars, this, that, and everything. He's paying the kids' education. You're doing this as a hobby. Okay? How many people, this is what I would like to know. How many people are out there that could actually stay home, say, I am making a full-time living with this here, and be upfront and honest? Upfront and honest. I'm not talking about, I'm sure there are people doing it. I'm not saying it's impossible. I am not saying it's impossible. But how many people are actually using eBay as a sole income to make this money? That's all I'm saying. You never hear these resellers that say, yeah, I'm a full-time reseller, and I'm making X amount of money. This is paying the bills, paying the mortgage. You never hear, you don't hear them saying. Well, you don't hear the full-time reseller saying, yeah, my wife works. She's got a good job. My husband works. He's a vice president of a corporation. He's got a good job. So I do this as a hobby. Or I do it full-time. It's a full-time hobby for some people. I don't have that luxury to say that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, working class people. But, you say, well, if you have a significant other that's working, that's good. That's true, and that's all good and gin dandy, but it's fine. But the thing I'm trying to say is, you always hear these resellers talking about everyone's doing everything, they're doing everything full time, but you never hear them say about a secondary income coming in. I'm talking about the full-time retail. I'm not talking to people that do it as a hobby or part-timers. I'm talking about the people that say, I'm doing this strictly full-time. This is my full-time income, and it's just me alone. I'm the one making the money. I'm the breadwinner. I'm using eBay. eBay's paying all my bills. I just want to hear. I just like to hear a reseller that says they're doing it full-time come up front and honest and say, yes, I am doing this full time, and no, I don't. My wife doesn't work. My husband doesn't work. Whatever. I would like to hear somebody honestly come up front, stand up to the bench, so to speak, and say, this is the straight dope here. I am doing this full time. I don't have a secondary income coming in. But then again, you may get a person that had. Don't forget, this all again. Not to contradict myself. There's all different circumstances. You might be a person with disability. Now, I heard stories on eBay where a person is disabled and they're getting a pension, or some people might retire with a pension, which is, there's a couple people on eBay that do that, that have pensions coming in, nice pensions. They might have worked with the government, they might have been retired police officers, whatever, and they're doing this as a hobby, and they're doing it full time, but they got a nice pension coming in. Okay, those are different. I'm not talking about people like that. That's a whole nother story. We're talking a whole different animal here. I'm talking about people in their 30s that are not retired or disabled or collecting pensions. I'm talking to people now at this age, late 20s, 30s, that are still supposed to be, still workable in the workforce. You work until you're retired up to 65 or 70, whatever. That's what I'm talking about. Don't tell me about a cop that's got a nice pension after 20 years of service. He's retired. He's making a nice pension. He's got a nice guaranteed salary coming in every month, and he's doing this here full time. Don't tell me about people like that. I'm talking about the resellers. But anyway, enough with all of that nonsense. Well, it's not really nonsense. It's a fact. I'm just throwing that out there. And again, if there's anybody out there, please don't take it the wrong way. I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not making any derogative statements, and I'm not putting any resellers out there. So if there are really resellers that come across this YouTube channel, please don't get mad at me and say, well, this guy here, who the hell does he think he is? Who's he talking about? This guy sounds like a jerk. He's sitting there running his mouth off talking about this. I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm not going to contradict myself either, but I'm just trying to say it's a type of a business where, it's a glorified business. When you hear people say, I hear eBay Radio, I love this business, and you hear eBay Radio, I listen to it religiously, okay? Since I've been on doing this full time, I listen to it in the background as I'm listening and doing research. And you hear people saying, if it wasn't for eBay, it saved me. I'm able to stay home with my children. I'm a single mother with taking care of my kids, and eBay helped me. And you hear stories like that. Okay, you hear stories like that. Another person said, well, then you hear another story, something similar to mine. I got laid off, and I got into this here full time, and I started selling this, and the other thing, and I did it that way, and I'm making nice money to pay my bill. You hear stories like that. But at the same time, I hope these people that are coming on the radio ain't just thrown out there to give kudos to build up the eBay radio network there, the station. You know what I'm saying? Because anything is possible. You could have some guy come up and say, hey, you want to go on the radio and make a statement, whatever. I'm telling it like it is, folks. I'm an upfront, honest guy. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat anything and telling you I'm doing great and doing this and that. All I'm saying is and people might say, well, you think you're the only one? Go check out all the other resellers out there. They're having their slow. But even the ones out there, they're making some sales. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe it's my description. The items I probably have, there's probably a glut of them out there. Maybe maybe my shipping fees, the shipping costs are too expensive. That's turning people off. Maybe my prices are too high. Like I said again, I try to work in a between thing. I'm not too high, not too low. I try to stay in a medium range when it comes to pricing. For God's sakes, if I go any cheaper, I might as well just give it away. Just put in there free, buy a pace for shipping and handling. I might as well do that if I go any lower. And it's bad enough, Now people may say, well, that's your fault. You went in there and you verbatimly went in there, clicked on those check boxes and decided to sell everything, offer free shipping. And if you don't make money off it, that's nobody's fault. But you know what? It is. But you know what it is? I want to get it out. And if I can get at least a half of what I invested in my inventory, my stock, I'd be happy with that. Because something is better than nothing. Okay? And that's why whatever little sales I do make in between here and there, foreign in between, whatever, it's a big thing. To me, it's a big thing. But I'm saying I want to get rid of this stuff. I can't. It's like you can't give it away. I mean, well, if I put in there free, pay for shipping handling, I bet you I'd get rid of all this stuff in probably within a couple of days. If I put free, you pay for shipping handling, the stuff will probably fly off the shelf, so to speak. But anyway, I don't want to keep talking about that. These are the things I have here. If you guys out there, this is the first time you want to spread the word, you want to share it. If there's anything you think you need here that you can use, I'm not probably one of these type of people that sell, the greatest items in the world here. I'm sure everybody and their brothers and aunts and uncles are selling the same stuff. And I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I mean, I try to offer good service. Outside of the U.S. Postal Service, these last couple of times I had an issue with that. And by the way, just for those who are following me, that buyer of the desktop computer never got back to me, never left me a feedback. That's fine. I messaged him back this morning. I said, if you don't want to leave feedback, I understand. And I said, rest assured that keep in mind that did not happen on my behalf. That happened with the Postal Service delivery. Because the person said, in one of the messages, I'd like to know how it happened. Well, how it happened, I don't know. All I know is when I brought the package to the United States Postal Service, I watched the clerk take it and carefully put it in the bin where it has to get shipped out. Again, once it's out of my hands, it's out of my hands. There's nothing I could do unless I come to your house personally, take a plane or a jet and fly to your house and personally hand deliver it. That's the only way it's going to get there in 1A condition. So I apologize to the buyer, to the buyers that received their items damaged. It's not my fault. As I told that other buyer with the last one that just said about the computer, check the feedbacks, see what other people say about my shipping and stuff like that. Not everybody's going to say excellent shipper, well packaged. You're not going to get whatever I got, 946, 948, whatever it is, 949. You're not going to get all 949 people sitting there saying this guy's an excellent shipper, well packaged and everything else. But look at the feedback. It speaks for some of the people that did receive the items in good condition. They will, state it there, well packaged, shipped good, this, that, fish, shipping, whatever. Okay, check the feedbacks out. And matter of fact, you know what I encourage people to do? Before you even buy from me, check out my feedbacks. Don't even, before you even make an offer to buy or, make a best offer or you're thinking of buying something, check. I encourage you. I'm asking you, encouraging you. Check my feedbacks first. Check them out first. See what other people have to say about the service I offer. I know I'm just one of many million people out there selling. And I'm sure all those people have the same type of return policy and they're all good. I'm not saying I'm the best seller on eBay because I'm not. I mean, there's people who are all, the people that have the top rated seller status. It's a nice thing to have that recognition, to have that nice little, stamp there, whatever that little leaflet, whatever you call that thing there next to your listings. I believe in some cases it does help. In some cases, it's a nice thing to have. It's like a badge of honor, so to speak. But it doesn't make me better than anybody else. I am no better than the next reseller. I'm no better than I'm not better than a seller that's not top rated. Okay, I am just an average guy out there trying to make a living with this stuff for now. And hoping I could get it to the next level. Like I said again, people will say, well, you've been doing this full time for a year, you said? Well, you can't expect to become an overnight success or, you're going to make it, your business is going to flourish into thousands and thousands of dollars. No, I don't expect that. I don't expect that. This is not an overnight success. People that get into this here, you can't just say, well, I'm going to go to eBay and I'm going to make tons of money and I'm going to live happily ever after. I know that. This is a 7-day-a-week job with no benefits. You get no health care unless you go on, unless you have health care provided again through your spouse or whatever. It's a 7-day work week thing. No paid vacations, no paid holidays, no paid sick days. So try to keep yourself healthy. Don't stress out because if you get sick and you got orders coming in, And if you got you got the 24-hour flu and you got to ship that stuff out or whatever, try to keep yourself healthy. That's all I can tell you, because these people that are buying from you are not going to want to hear excuses. Well, I've been laid up, I've been sick this whole week, whatever. Try to keep yourself healthy. Okay, do the best you can with you. Try to keep yourself healthy, because with this business, like I said, you don't get paid vacations, paid holidays, paid sick time. Okay, so you might want to keep yourself as healthy as possible. Keep your stress level as minimal as possible. Don't let things overrun your mind. Don't get overrun with all the stress and everything. If I seem like I'm stressed out, I'm not stressed. I'm concerned. I'm not gonna let this overwhelm me. I'm not gonna, because stress weakens your immune system, and when you have a weak immune system, we're subjected to getting diseases and stuff like that. Think about it. Read up what doctors will tell you. Stress is the worst thing for anybody. Okay. Stress can cause diseases, can cause people to get strokes, heart attacks, and everything else. Okay, you don't want to let a business or something like this, get you to that point where it puts you in a hospital, or possibly, makes you so gravely sick that you end up, flying the coop, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's a business. If you are doing it as a sole proprietor and you are doing it as a sole person, one person doing it, like you don't have help. My daughters would help out if I asked, but like I said, right now, this is my venture, not their venture. Okay? I'm not going to burden the people and say, hey, come on, wifey, kids, come help me out, and let's do this together as a family thing. Everyone's got their own thing to do. Okay? I chose to do this business. I chose this path right now. But at the same time, there may be a time and place where, this might not be the void. This business might be, fill the void that I need. If you can't make a sustainable, like I said it once before, you can't make a sustainable income from this business, then you might want to think of a different strategy. Okay, let's face the facts here. You can't. You might have to resort to a 9-to-5 job. All right, I already talked about this once before. Okay, and the other thing is, and I'm sure there might be sellers out there that may disagree with me, and that's fine. You're entitled to your opinion, but I look at life this way. With this type of business, and it's a small amount, and if you can't even make that, that's sad. Okay, what I'm telling you, if you can't at least make $100 a day off of this business, at least $100, and that's low. Okay, it'd be nice to make 300, 200, 400 a day. It'd be great to make all that. That's great, but if you can't even make $100 a day, that's $500 a week. And today's standard, to some people, it's a very low wage to make. You tell a person, I make $500, I was working in the corporate world, I wasn't making that kind of money. You know what I'm saying? I was making a lot better than that. But the thing I'm trying to say is, and I'm not knocking people that I'm not saying anything about low-paying jobs. I'm just trying to say what I'm talking about this business. I'm not talking about people's jobs and incomes. And people say, well, maybe they don't have the skills to make a job, have it go into a job and make an X amount of money. I'm not knocking. I'm not saying that, I'm not bringing that point out, that part. I'm talking about right now eBay, okay? And all I'm stating is, if your eBay business cannot bring in, if you're not making at least $100 a day, right? You might say, well, all right, then I'm talking about, you got to figure at $100 what's going to come out of it. Your shipping fees, your listing fees, and all the PayPal fees and whatever. So let's say out of $100, you come out with $80 or whatever. I don't know. It depends. I'm not saying that's great, but it just goes to show you, if you did make $100 and you take all those fees out, now you're really down. So you're saying, well, geez. I only made $80 for today after all your fees are paid out and stuff, and shipping costs, because you got to deduct the shipping costs or whatever. It might be less than that. It might turn out to be $65 a day, $75 a day. If you're not making at least that, though, to sustain, have it, to meet your bills. That's why if you're going to go into this business, any business really, try to keep your bills right down. Like if you have credit cards, my suggestion is, before you get involved with a business like this, if you could do it, do a debt consolidation, pay all your credit cards off, cut them up, get rid of them, keep one with a decent credit limit on it. And I don't mean a credit limit like $20,000, $30,000 credit line. I'm talking about something like, if you're going to have something, you want something somewhat decent. maybe a $4,000 or $5,000 credit line. That's it. That's it. Finished. That's it. Even that's a lot of debt to carry. To me, it is. Okay? But my suggestion, if you're going to go into a business like this, try to get rid of all your credit cards. Keep one. This way, the stress is not like, whew, boy, I don't have those 20 other credit cards to pay off. And then you start living paycheck to paycheck. That's bad. And I'm not saying, again, I'm not saying a bad way, but if you're in a situation like that, where you have all that credit card debt, and then you say, well, I'm going to go into eBay. Maybe eBay will make enough money to pay that stuff off. My suggestion is pay off those credit cards, get rid of that, try to get rid of that debt load. And if you're going to go into this, try to go with a minimal debt load on there, okay? And I know it takes money to invest, to make money. I know that, okay? But I'm trying to say, let's say you have all your credit card debt paid off. You got rid of those credit cards. You got one. And you got a $4,000 or $5,000 credit line. Take maybe a few $100s out of it. Go sourcing at your thrift stores, Goodwills, whatever. Maybe buy a couple $100. Maybe might want to make an investment of maybe spending $500. Maybe that's your cap. You say, I'm going to invest $500. I'm going to buy, I don't know, out of that $500, depending on what you're buying, you might buy things for $2, $3 a piece, whatever. Let's say you come out with over 200 items. Do it that way. Go on a small scale. Don't be too bold and brash and say, you know what? I'm going to max out my credit card and I'm going to go into this eBay business full time. I'm going to get a store. I'm going to get an eBay store. I'm going to buy maybe $2,000, $3,000 worth of inventory. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to buy all this expensive equipment. I'm going to buy expensive cameras or whatever. I'm going to do a video and show you this stuff on one of the things I have, what I use to do these videos and stuff like that. And I'm not saying you're going to be surprised, but you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll say, "Wow, this guy, this is all he uses, and this is his equipment. That's all he has, and that's it." I'm going to do a video on that one of these days. I don't know if I do it today or whatever, but I might do it too. It depends. And just to show you guys, you don't have to go out top notch and say, well, I'm going to do, especially for YouTube videos. You don't have to go out and buy the greatest stuff, okay? All right, and I'll talk to you about that in the next video. But all I'm saying, folks, again, in regards to this eBay sales stuff, I put every listing I have with 249 listings. I put them all on free, fast and free shipping. Again, some things I'm going to make money on, and some things I'm going to take a loss on. But you know what? If I could at least get the money I invested in the inventory, I'd be happy with that. At least to put back, because right now these items are tying up a good percentage of my money. Now you might say, well, how much could this possibly be? Looking at what you're looking at these, you look at these prices and say, well, you might have a ballpark figure. Well, maybe the guy selling that live chat thing, the USB thing, the head stereo set, he probably paid maybe $5 for it. So if he comes out with that there, it's going to be a small profit margin, folks. It's going to be a small profit margin. Maybe I might be, I might, who knows? I might take a big loss on it. I don't know. But you know what? I want to get rid of it. I want it out, and I know the stuff I'm going to be dealing with. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I know it's not going to be the type of items you see. Hopefully it won't be the same type of things. Stuff that's been sitting around for a long time, for months. You can see, looking here, I have watches. I don't know what they're watching. Like I said now, I don't know when you make changes if eBay has it where when you make a change, the buyers that are watching you, they get notified. I don't know if that's how it works. Okay? I like to hear my cha-ching going off on my phone. That would be nice. Or get messages or whatever. Or see sales. Again, I may be disappointed in some of the sales because to some of the sales I'm not making anything. For example, looking at this one right over here. See this Disney high school thing here? I'm not going to make any money for this. I can tell you right now what this is going to come to. Let me tell you. To ship this out, media mail, it's going to probably cost me $2 and change. So out of $4, I'm probably lucky. I'm lucky I make 50 cents. And what I bought it for, I'm not going to make the money on that. I'll tell you right now. I'll share that with you. I'm not going to make any money off of this because what I paid for this, and what I'm going to get, what I'm going to make on it, it's not. And then what I'm going to sell it for with the fast and free shipping, figure. This goes media mail. This will probably go out. It'll probably be $2. It's most likely, I think it's at $2.61. So there you go. And then eBay fees. This is going to be a wash. A lot of these things are going to be a wash for me. I'll be honest with you. Be a wash. So you might say, why bother doing it then? I'm going to get rid of it. People say, well, you could also donate it. I'm not going to give it back to the thrift store, that's for sure, so they can resell it again. No, that's not going to happen. Before I do that, folks, if you ever have to do stuff like that, before you give it back to Goodwill so they can make more money off it, give it to your local church. Donate it to your church. I have a church over here in Long Island where I am, in St. Bridget's in Westbury. They have a thing called St. Bridget's Attic. And what they do is when they get donations, stuff like that, when they do sell it, it's a thrift store. It's called St. Bridget's Attic. And what they do is when they sell it, they sell those items. That money goes towards the church, the maintenance of the church. If it needs, the church needs to be, certain things have to be fixed in the church, or they got to do this, that, whatever, or maintenance of property and whatever, landscaping. That money that they get from St. Bridget's, from what I understand, goes back to the church. So me personally, if I didn't sell this stuff here and I just wanted to get rid of all of it, let's just say, so you know what, I'm giving up on the eBay business, I'm taking all this stuff out, I'm going to let it run out. Once it's gone, I'm going to take the whole thing, maybe get a van or whatever, or a box, or a couple of big boxes, take it to the church thrift store, and give it all to them and say, here, have it. I hope you make good sales with it, because I'll be honest with you, the items I have here will most likely be sold a lot quicker than selling on eBay. I'm telling you up front. The items I have here will probably be sold a lot quicker in the thrift store than they would on eBay. And I'm not just throwing that out there like that, okay? I'm being serious. And why? Because the foot traffic coming in there. I mean, they get that little thrift store has a lot of people coming in and going, young and old going in there. And they sell a lot of different things too. Electronics and stuff. The stuff I sell here, they sell. So I could bet you dollar for donuts that this stuff here, if I put it in the thrift store, it'd probably be gone probably within a week. Whereas suppose I had this stuff for over a month. I'm not knocking eBay. Don't get me wrong. People might say, well, it sounds like this guy's trashing eBay. I'm not trashing eBay. I'm not bashing him. It's not eBay's fault. Let's not get carried away and think, oh, it's eBay's fault. At least I don't think of it that way. Maybe you guys or whatever. Maybe there may be people out there thinking, well, maybe eBay has something to do with it. It has not. eBay. I don't think eBay has anything to do with it. They've been pretty fair with me. I have no complaints with that part. I just got a $30 credit from them. I think a lot of top-rated sellers get it. I don't think they usually give it to just regular sellers. I think top-rated sellers get $30 credit for the promoted listings. I'm not going to use that because I know there's something there with that $30 credit they're giving you that there. I think it's based on how much you sell and then what percentage they take out and so on and so forth. Look, no matter how you toss the coin, eBay it's always going to come out in eBay's favor. They're the ones that's always going to make the money, and I can understand that. It's their selling platform. Okay, it's their selling platform, and you either play by their rules or get off. Sell it on your own website. Sell it on your own website. That's all I can tell you. If you don't like the platform, they'll tell you the same thing. Well, just don't mention Amazon if you're talking to customer reps. They don't want to hear that there. I don't blame them. I mean, if I had a business like this, I don't want to hear about Amazon. If I was a customer rep, I'd say, please, let's not discuss Amazon. We're talking about eBay, The reason why I'm saying is because I mentioned that when I spoke to a rep about, I was doing a comparison about the fees and eBay and this and that, whatever. We got into some kind of topic with that, and I blurred that word out there, Amazon. And I seen the tone in the eBay teammate or representative got a little loud. Well, we're not Amazon, so let's not go there. I said I understand. Okay, you can't compare us with Amazon. You could see the tone. It was a little, and I can understand. People don't want to hear your competition. And just like Amazon, they probably don't like to hear the word eBay. If I call up Amazon and say, well, eBay don't charge us, they probably don't want to hear. The reps don't want to hear that. And especially when you call up eBay, and even any of them, they'll say this message is, these phone calls are being recorded for learning purposes, whatever. So everything you're saying on that phone, you're talking to that eBay rep, it's being recorded, and it's okay. I mean, what are you going to do? That's the way it is, But anyway, folks, so that's the change I made to my listings. It's Friday. It's hot as anything out here today. You walk out and I'm in air conditioning, but the thing is, you go outside, you go walk around the block and just start working up a sweat. So most likely it's 12:30 Eastern time over here. I'm on the East Coast here in New York. I'm sure a lot of people that are off today, if they took off, whatever, They either stay in a nice air conditioning buildings, working, whatever, most likely working, or at the beach, or on vacations, whatever. So me personally, if I didn't have to do this for a living right now, I myself would not be sitting here in front of a computer. I'd probably be, I'd most likely, if everything was normal, on a normal basis, I'd be in a corporate office working, sitting out behind my office desk, whatever, doing my work. And after that, I would probably come home and want to go out, maybe take my family out to dinner and stuff like that. I would not be thinking about eBay. And that's probably what a lot of these people are doing that is still, these are working hours, or the people on vacation. They're not going to sit there sitting on a nice beach, sipping on a pina colada, saying, you know what, they're going to go search on eBay. I want to buy something. I want to buy that new electronic gizmo or that new iPhone or whatever. They're going to want to relax. They're not thinking about eBay. I understand that there, because that's how I would feel. I mean, who's going to want to sit here worrying about buying stuff off eBay when you're on vacation? You want to enjoy your time, Sometimes you hear people say, when I go on vacation, I'm not taking my cell phone with me. I'm not taking my laptop with me. I just want to go away, and I don't want to deal with anything. I don't want no communication with anybody. I just want to just go away and forget about everything. And then when I come back next week, then we'll pick up with that, where we left off. And I can understand that. I heard that many people, even when I worked in the corporate office, I used to hear people like that. Oh, when I go on vacation, I'm not taking no laptop, no cell phone. So if anybody wants me, they're going to have to wait until I come back Monday. If it was a Friday and they were taking off that whole week or whatever it is, they would tell you, if you want to get in touch with me, I'll be back Monday morning. They'd leave a phone message on the office phone saying so and so will be out. I'll be out this whole week. If you need to get back to me, I'll be in Monday morning, 9 o'clock, whatever. Okay, and that's the way it is. I know that, and then people might say, well, if you know it, don't make a big thing over it. I'm not making a big thing over it. It's just a little frustrating. Because no matter how much you try, I did price reductions, and like I said, I just went in there and just put all of these items on free shipping. So like I said again, people may sit there and say, Rich, you made a big mistake doing that because you're going to take a beating on the shipping, but you know what? I don't care. I don't care. If I can get at least half of what I invest in here, I'll be happy to move out this stuff. And you want to know something, folks? Even with the fast and free shipping, I'm not expecting a lot of sales, and I'll keep you posted on it. I will definitely keep you guys posted on it. But anyway, thanks for stopping by and checking out the my YouTube video here. If you like what I do, please subscribe to my channel. If you think anything helped out, in this case, if you want to give it a thumbs up, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. But I'd love to have you as a subscriber. I put out these videos, to enlighten people, to give a little insight about myself, a little insight about the items I sell. Again, if you're new to my channel, and if you do follow me on eBay, I do embed, in certain cases, I do embed videos in there, and that's to give you, the potential buyers out there, eBay buyers, a little insight as to what you're getting. Again, the videos, as far as regards like embedding videos in the eBay descriptions, I'm not going to say it increases sales. So if there's anybody out there, and I'm not saying to say, oh, he just doesn't want competition. You could do it yourself. I'm just trying to give you guys a heads up that if you get the idea, you say, well, I'm going to embed videos too. I'm going to do the same thing. Don't expect, well, at least if you do, please share it with me. Don't expect great sales. That's all I'm saying. In some cases, it helps. It helps. I'm not going to say it's going to increase sales. At least for me, it did. Okay. And I think I mentioned once before in my other videos that I had a couple of buyers say, because of your video, it did make a buying decision as to why I bought it. All right. So I'm just telling you, it was only, I think, 3 or 4 people that said that there. It didn't do very much. I mean, a lot of stuff I have, not all of them, not all 240 listens there is their videos, but in some cases, like the electronic things, or when I do the intros or demo videos, you'll see it because I'll put it in there. It'll say, please see description below. Please see the video below description. It's usually at the bottom of the description. And in some cases, it helps. And people are probably wondering why go through it. If you're not getting anywhere, why go through all those extra steps and procedures? I do it because I want to give the potential buyer the opportunity to see what I'm selling. And it kind of like, I go over the condition of the item, if it's got dings, dents, or chips or scratches, whatever, if there's anything missing off it, whatever. And I think I'm not going to say it helps close the deal, But I think it gives the buyer a little peace of mind, saying, well, you know what, I won't mind buying that stereo from this guy. I see it working. He did a demo on it, or that clock radio. Yeah, I know it works because I seen him do it live. You know, this ain't smoke and mirrors. Okay, I don't sit there playing around with it and, you know, fooling around with the wires to make it work, and then I go, oh yeah, look, here's the clock radio, and then later on, you know, the thing's got faulty wiring, whatever, or you get it home, you plug it in, nothing lights up and stuff. You know, I would never do anything. That's crazy to do something like that. But I think it gives the buyer a little peace of mind, saying, well, you know, I seen it work, and the guy tested it out and stuff, and it seems like, you know, I think it helps. I don't think it's going to increase my sales, but I think it helps. And I do that with the electronics. Like, I'm looking at this Sony Dream Machine. I think I have, if I'm not mistaken, I think I got a video for that. I believe I do. We are just showing you it comes on and listen to, you know, how it sounds and stuff. You know, I believe I have things like that. With the eyeglass cases, I did a video on all of them. So when you click that on, you're going to see not only the FlexCon or the Harley Davidson, you're going to see them and plus others. And I got over here, nice heavy bag, folks. See, it's a heavy bag. These are all eyeglass cases that I didn't get a chance to list yet. Okay, I didn't get a chance. It's heavy bag. This must weigh at least 5 pounds or whatever. It's heavy. It's got a lot of. These are all eyeglass cases in here, folks, and they're heavy too. It's heavy. They've been sitting there for a while trying to get them listed. I said, well, maybe today I could try to get them listed. I don't know. I'll see. I know people are probably looking and saying, maybe that's the next thing he's going to start selling, a lot of eyeglass cases. Well, you know what? You'll know when you see it on there. I'll tell you right. I'll share with you. If I could sell eyeglass cases and make a small profit margin off them and get rid of them and load them, I may go that route. I don't know yet. You know, people may say, well, you just want to give away a secret. It's no secret. It's no secret. I'm sharing this with you. I'm being upfront and honest. If I list those up and I get, you know, I sell more of those than all the other items, yes, I may just go with them. Will it be a niche? Will I strictly go for eyeglass cases? I don't know. But, you know, I'm getting older. Okay, people say, well, you're getting old. Well, I always like to say, well, I'm getting older. If you're doing this one, you know, if you're doing if you're a one-man band here doing this here, you're not going to want to carry items out when you get older, like in the 70s, 60s, like I said, whatever, depending how old you could do this stuff and how long you want to do it. You're not going to want to carry items that are 50, 60 pounds. Okay. Now people say, well, you can call the post office up. Yeah, the post office will come pick it up, but someone's got to bring it out to the curb or whatever, to the, you know, the driveway to get it there. And that's, who's that going to be? You're not going to have the letter carrier saying, come on into my house, or I'll take it out. You know, you could if you want. I don't really want nobody coming into my dwelling to take things out. You know, I don't want. That's not. I don't feel comfortable with that. So I would have to, you know, bring it out curbside when, you know, wait for the letter carrier to come by when he swings by. Tell him, hey, can you stop by my house? I got a couple of big packages to go out. So I would have to use a hand truck, bring it out there, and let him do it. And chances are he's going to probably piss, because now he's got to carry stuff like that into the post office. You know? But if I could, if I could ship out eyeglass cases and make a nice little a decent profit off them, yeah, you might come to my eBay listings and see a whole bunch of eyeglass cases. That might be my niche. I don't know yet. I don't know. And it's not that I'm not trying to share it with you guys. You might say, well, this guy just don't want to share what he's going to do. No, I'm not. It has nothing to do with that. I don't know. I can't say for sure. But I want to list them. There's got to be at least, I don't know, maybe 15, 20, 25 of them there, I think. And I don't know. I can't say. I really don't know. Just check them out. Stop by every now and then. Check and see what I got. But, again, if you are new to this channel, just keep in mind that everything you see here right now, folks, unless I miss one, I know I checked all the boxes when I click it on there. Everything's got fast and free. So take advantage of it. My loss is your gain. As simple as all that. I'm sorry I had to go that route, but when you're not making sales, you take the next step, and that's to do whatever you can to survive, to get this stuff out. And hopefully you'll rebound and come back again with something. You know, maybe something will be better. You'll pick up. You know, all I'm saying is, and that's why I said in my other previous videos, I can't give you an eBay sales update. I can't tell. I mean, there might have been one where I told you I sold a couple things, but I can't do it on a weekly, because I believe I don't know, did I even sign this week? See, it's been so sparse, I can't even remember if I sold anything. I don't think I sold anything. As of today, I don't think there was anything sold. So this is, if that's the case, and if I did sell something, it was probably something that wouldn't even buy a hamburger. You know what I'm saying? That's how small it was. This whole week, no paycheck. No paycheck, folks. Think about it. You know, there's a difference. That's why I say don't give up your day job. At least when you work your day job, you know you're getting a steady paycheck week after week. Do you sit here and go like this? Oh my God, you start sweating. Oh my God, what am I going to do? I'm going to get that bill. That bill's coming in next week. I don't have enough money to pay it. Do I tap into my savings? Do I tap into my IRA, my 401k, whatever? You know, whatever. When you're out of a company, you don't have a 401k, but your IRAs, what do? Do I tap into that reserve, that emergency funding? Scary. Scary, folks. Don't quit your day job. Don't quit your day job. But if you want any advice, you might say, well, I'm not a financial consultant. I'm not a financial analyst, whatever. All I'm saying is this. It's all based on common sense. In closing with this video, pay down all your debt. Keep your day job. And do it as a hobby at this point. You might say, well, that's not the greatest advice in the world, because some people may want to look forward to doing this full time. You could take you want to be daring and go bold and brash and do what you got to do. Go right ahead. My suggestion: pay down your credit card debt. Keep one decent credit card. And I wouldn't quit my day job just yet. I would do this here to supplement your income. Maybe you didn't get a raise one year. You know, maybe the company you're working for is not giving out big raises. So you could probably use eBay to offset it. But as far as anything else goes, I wouldn't quit the day job. And that's why when I listen to eBay radio, I hear people sitting there saying that I quit my day job to do this full time. I was like, wow, what are these people thinking? Why would you quit your day job? You got a steady check. Some cases, depending on the companies you work for, paid holidays, paid sick day, you know. Why would you quit your day job? Why would you give all that up? Bonuses. I miss my bonuses. What can I tell you? That's the world we live in, the corporate world, right? All these big companies like to outsource. My job and probably 1,000 others went overseas. IT is gone. Finance department was a lot of people were gone. Accounts payable, accounts receivable, they were gone. We went overseas. It's funny. They got jobs and I don't. Is that? I'm not saying this to be funny, folks. It just baffles my mind sometimes. I say to myself, here I am, living in America, and people go to college, they go to school to get these, they train for these jobs. And, I'm in my late 50s, and I say to myself, I get laid off at a later part of my life from a job I think I was going to retire in, and I lose my job, and somebody overseas gains it. What was once mine is now theirs. Now they have a job and I don't. And why? Because corporate America, the corporate world, wants to show their profit holders, their shareholders, that we're making good profits. You guys are making good profits. We're meeting our budgets every year, every month or whatever. We're doing good. The revenues are going up. And people like me and thousands upon thousands of people are losing their jobs in droves. And why? Because it's all based on corporate profits. They're not worried about the little guy. When you walk out that door and you get your severance package, whatever, that's it. Handshake. I wish you all the best. Good luck. Dedication, loyalty, everything that you put to the company, right out the window. Didn't mean anything. No job replacement. No placing you in a different department. It's like once you're out, you're out. They don't want you to back in there in that company. They want you out. The reason why they want you out, they don't want to put you in. They're hoping that that things that you didn't apply, the positions apply for, because even if they did apply for, you probably wouldn't get them in, because first off, you're making a better income. If they was to bring up a person in, an intern or somebody, when you lose your job, if they do fill it later on, they're going to bring somebody in with a lower pay scale, and they might not get the perks like that, like they used to. Who knows? But that's what I'm trying to say. That's why, if people sit there and say, this guy sounds bitter, hurt, whatever, I'm a little of both. Because for the company I work for, I was there every day, never missed a day. In the 8 years I was there, never missed a day, not one day of work. Never called in sick, not one day. Never late one day. I was always there an hour every day. I gave that hour to the company every day I worked there. And I didn't ask my manager, say, hey, I'm here every day an hour early, and I start working as soon as I come in. I start working an hour early before my scheduled time. Can I collect overtime? No, I never said that. You know why? People said, well, you're a fool. Yeah, maybe I was. But you know why I did that, folks? You know why I wasn't doing it to brown nosing. Thank God I was healthy enough where I didn't have to take sick time off. Okay, thank God for that. But I also, the reason why I did it, and I used to tell my coworkers, I said, why do you do that? You guys, I used to see people say, you crazy? What are you giving a company now overtime every day? You come in, you're not even getting paid for it. You know what my response was to them? Because I appreciate the company taking me in. I appreciate my job. I love my job. I love what I do. And this is my way of showing a token of appreciation to the company. That's why. It was me giving back to them. People say, yeah, but you're doing your job. You're fulfilling it. You're doing what you have to do, and then some. Now, I'm not looking for kudos here. I'm not looking for people to say, wow, this guy, I feel bad for him. He seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like a good guy, a good worker. Well, I was a good worker. If you talk to a lot of people, say that guy, Rich, he was a good worker. He was always there. I always helped people in all departments. People I didn't even know in the company, that if I seen them struggling with packages or whatever, I said, excuse me, let me help you. Oh, that's so kind of you. Especially the women that were carrying things, whatever they had, carry stuff up from the office, whatever, or moving their offices around. I would volunteer to help them. And I didn't tell my manager. I wasn't looking for, like a brown nosing them, saying, hey, by the way, I helped out in the accounts procedure department. I helped these people out. I didn't say that for that. I didn't do it because I was looking for recognition, as far as like saying, oh, well, race time comes around, he'll probably get a good raise. I got the average raise like everybody else. Even if my boss didn't know it, because they got budgets to work with. When a department gets money, when it comes to raise time, a company, if I understand, the department gets a budget to work with, and that money's got to be divvied up. Okay, they're not going to pay me a lot more money because I sit there coming an hour early, or because I go around. If I see people needing help in my company, I go out of my way to help them. That's not going to do anything for me, and I didn't expect it, and I didn't want anything like that. Okay, I didn't want anything like that. It's just the way it worked. That's just the way it worked out for me. But like I said, people may say, well, if you feel this way about it, that you're not making any sales off of eBay and you're trying it. I've only been doing it for a year. Why don't you just go back into the workforce, back to the corporate world, and try it again. Try doing it again. Maybe you'll work for a company that pay you more money, have good benefits again, like you used to have. Maybe it'll be better for you. I watch Joel Osteen on Sundays, and I've been through this already. 2 layoffs and 1 company bankruptcy, and all the companies I work for, the same way I'm talking about the job I just got lost last year is the same way I treated all the other companies. Now, the company that went bankrupt. It doesn't matter. You could be a shining star in there. It doesn't matter. Your company went bankrupt, that's it. Your job's liquidated, it's gone. Period. You get what they owe you, whatever, and that's it. The company claimed bankruptcy. The first company I worked for, that was an electronic company. They outsourced. Well, I didn't outsource, they insourced. Okay, and the reason I'm saying outsource, here's how I define it, folks. You might look at it, maybe I say, well, maybe he looks at it different. When I say insource, they took 65 jobs, including IT, and they insourced, meaning they sent the jobs to Georgia. When I say outsourced, when I say my job was outsourced, outsourced meaning it was outsourced overseas. Okay? And that was a big setback. I thought I was going to retire there. I retired after 2 years. Right after nine. Yeah, as a matter of fact, when I lost that job, it was right after 9/11. Could 9/11 cause it? I don't know. They just said the sales weren't that good in there, and I was in IT. I wasn't a salesperson. I can understand if you worked in sales, you know, if you're not meeting your quotas, you know, they probably tell you, you know, you gotta, we can't keep you here, whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying. I didn't work in sales. I was always in IT. But you know, that's what happens. But you know, getting back with Joel Osteen, like he says, sometimes don't look at it as a setback when something like this happens. Look at it as a setup. Now, you might say, well, this guy sounds like he's contradicting himself. When I mean a setback, you know, when he says it's a setback, it's a setup, meaning, yes, I got set back when I lost my job. But hopefully, by some divine intervention or miracle, maybe there's some kind of way I can make this work where it'll work for me this time. See, I always, even in my younger years, in the 1980s, whatever, I always wanted to be involved in the retail business. But I didn't want to work in the retail field. I wanted to do my own thing. I started a little catalog company. It was making money for me, but it wasn't sustainable. So I went back to the 9-to-5 job. But I always was involved with selling. I remember importing greeting cards over from Hong Kong, from overseas. I was in the greeting card business, musical greeting card business. I was doing okay. Was nothing to write home about. Then I got involved with selling luggage. That was done through direct mail order. Actually, it was, yeah, I put an ad in Teen Magazine. A little ad like this. Quarter of an ad. $795, folks. But you know what the logic was behind that? Because when I was going to college for retail business management, in the marketing, they said that the premise behind it, or the primary use of that advertising like that, is that the magazine would be handed off. It was Teen Magazine, matter of fact. It would be handed off from one person to another. One girl would give it to another girl would give it to another girl, and you had a whole month of exposure. So you say, wow, for $795, you had a little display ad. I did. Well, at the time, the girlfriend, we worked on that display ad. I remember going to Pearl Art Paint Center and getting those books. They used to have the books where you can cut out the borders and stuff like that, and we would, you know, laboriously take that there and cut it out with X-Acto knives and put the pictures in there, shoot them, and then send them off to the publisher, and the publisher would approve of it and say, okay, your ad's going to be in February magazine, you know, for 2020, whatever it was back then, 1985 or whatever. It was Teen Magazine. And you get your approval and you get your negatives and stuff like that. They send it back to you after they use it. So if you want to redo it again, I couldn't afford $795 every month because, again, I was saving at the time. We were saving for a house. We were saving to get married. You know, money back then had to be channeled towards buying into a house. You know, so back then I couldn't do that like I used to. I definitely cannot do that today. I didn't even know what a display ad would cost like this in a magazine today. Would have cost. It'd probably be astronomical, and I don't have that kind of budget where I could actually say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna, you know, invest in that." I can't do that. And what am I gonna invest in it? What am I put in there? My eBay business name, you know. eBay's got enough. It's got a big enough platform out there where everybody and their mother knows eBay. It's been on TV shows, been in the movies. Oh, you hear sometimes you hear the actor say, "Well, I could have sold this on eBay." I mean, it's got a recognition. Now, if you look here, I mean, just in closing this up here, but if you look here, look how many views I had. I mean, I'm not saying it's a great views, but look, I'm just saying, 20. I mean, this is how many people actually been to my listings, and look, 86, 76, 34. 25, 31. I mean, these are people I've been there. Some are 8, some are small, you know, 48, 42, 108 here. Okay, 156. There's so many people seeing this here. 296. Right? 296 people looked at this, got 5 viewers, $49. Now let's see what happens. I put free shipping on there. But anyway, so 264. You see what I'm saying? You see, and that goes on and on. That's how many people seeing this here. So for me to invest money in a display ad in a magazine like that, I don't think that would be too profitable for me. I don't think it would be a right move. All right. Anyway, let me call it quits for now. It's my next video. It's going at 1 o'clock here Eastern time here. I think I'm going to break for lunch. I don't know if there's any sales going to come in today again, folks. I just did it, like I said. I don't know. I don't know if the people get notifications that are following me, watches, whatever. I don't know if they get notifications say, oh, the guy just offered fast and free shipping. I don't know. Time will tell. I will talk to you guys soon. Listen, have a great day. Try to stay cool. And happy buying and selling, guys. I wish you all the best. Take care.